Howdy gamers, Old Gamer Guy here. Welcome to another Endzone, a world apart video. We are making our way through the tutorials. There is one long main tutorial, but we're doing these individual ones for these videos. And we have Prosperity and Raiders as the final tutorials. They have Prosperity last, but I feel like the Raiders will make a better finale, so we're going to do Prosperity in this video. The basic idea of this tutorial is that you just can't make your people happy. They're just not going to get happy and stay happy. If you take care of their basic needs, they're going to want more and more and more because they are human beings. Here is our old buddy, Arthur Sachin. And he has a voiceover, but I have the voiceover volume turned down just so I don't rudely talk over Arthur. But he's basically just telling you what I just said about the colonists being hard to please. And they will not take long before they start complaining and wanting improvements to their quality of life. So the first thing we need to do is build a town hall. A place where they can make demands. And there is no town hall in the menus, but if we look at our starting area here, it looks like it's already been upgraded once into a town center, but now we can upgrade the town center into a town hall. Does not take long to upgrade, and when it's done we might regret it because this is where the colonists will gather to start making demands. In one of the earlier tutorials we saw a place called the Forum where they could gather and just kind of casually make suggestions about what they want, but in the town hall they can make demands. And when they make those demands, they will always give you two options to choose. In this instance, their demands must have something to do with a kitchen because it says we already have a kitchen. But we can look at the demands right here. And basically they're asking us to either make a bunch of cake or a bunch of stew. And I feel like one of those things is more obviously what we need in a post-apocalypse. I know we might want cake, but we need stew. So I'm going to go with stew here. And like I said, we already have a kitchen. But we need to tell the kitchen what to cook, and I couldn't remember exactly what a kitchen looks like, so it took me a minute to find it, but here it is. They're working on a hearty meal, but instead we're going to have them work on stew. And it won't take very long to get this done. And there we go. We have fulfilled the first demand of our settlers, with many more to follow, I'm sure. People do like to complain. So that worked out really well. If you don't fulfill their demands or if you ignore them for too long, they will become more and more displeased. So you don't want that. If you want to be politically savvy, you have to do something about their demands, but oftentimes those demands will require different types of resources. So now they want us to build a mine for sand. There are other types of mines, but this one is just for sand, and it goes over here in the lake. So we'll set this up right over here as I agonize about the placement unnecessarily. And then we will speed up the video until this gets built. And it doesn't take too long to get going. But you will notice a lot of sped up time in this video. Now we have assigned settlers to be miners. Now we need to connect the sand mine to the power grid. So we will build some electric power poles, and you can kind of see how the power connects. You can see the little yellow power lines there when you have it in a good spot. So we'll set it here, and we will fast forward the video again. This video would be a lot longer if I wasn't speeding up these sections. This video would be about 40 minutes long, so almost twice as long without all that sped up time. But never mind that. We now have our sand mine, and our people are getting to work shoveling. And it doesn't take too long for them to produce 10 sand. There we go. So far so good. Now they will start to extract the sand and store it. In addition to sand, cement is also needed to produce concrete. So it says right there we need a cement factory, but what they really mean is a concrete factory. So we need to build one of those, but we also need to tell this mine here to start mining for cement. So now we are collecting cement. So let's get to work on our concrete factory. And after I agonize for a few moments about the placement, we'll just put it over here. And this will take a little while to construct, so once again we will be speeding up the video. You can see them clearing out the trees. Usually I like to sit and watch my little workers go about their business, but yeah, like I said, this video would be about twice as long if I was not speeding up the video like this. But now we have our concrete factory. Now we need to connect the concrete factory to the power grid. We have assigned settlers to be engineers. Now we will connect it to the grid with some electric power poles. And it's kind of getting dark, so you can't really see. It's hard to see the power lines, whether they're actually appearing or not, to let you know that your placement is good. So I'm going to go ahead and speed up the video here. And then we'll place this last pole right there. You can see the power lines. And then we just have to wait for them to be constructed. And then we can start producing concrete. But this tutorial is a little unusual from the others because you do run into a problem here. We are going to run out of power, and our concrete factory is going to stop working. But being a tutorial, they will only allow you to build certain things. They will not allow you to build necessarily the stuff you need to take care of that problem, because we're going to run out of power here. And then I'm going to go look at our batteries, because we have some batteries that were already here at the beginning of the tutorial. We've got batteries and we've got solar panels. The batteries are empty. The sun is coming up now, so the solar panels should be providing some power. But we cannot build any more solar panels, and we can't build any more batteries. I can only build power lines and wind turbines. So I'm going to go ahead and install a few wind turbines, and then hopefully that will charge up the batteries faster during the day, and then also help to offset the power loss at night. And it will work eventually. I think after I put these initial wind turbines in, I think that the problem of the concrete factory not having power goes away. But you will see me install a few more wind turbines as we go along. But never mind that. Back to posterity. Posterity? No, prosperity. And concrete is not the only new raw material we need. So they're telling us to build a material factory. A material factory can make glass and also, I think, strengthened metal or reinforced metal. I forget what they call it, but it's stronger metal. And we will need some of that. So let's put our material factory right in here. This seems like a good spot. You can tell I'm really worried about the placement. There we go. And now we will wait for that to be constructed. And then we need to assign some settlers to be refiners. It looks like it's already close enough to the power lines that we don't need to do anything about power. And now we just have to wait for 5 strengthened metal to be produced. And there we go. Arthur is happy once more. So now we can move on to more ambitious projects because we are producing different raw materials, different construction materials, and now your people want a pumping station because up until now they have been getting water out of the lake manually there at the jetty. So they want us to upgrade the water tower, and then they want us to build a pumping station, and then the pumping station would alleviate the need for our people to engage in that manual labor. They'll still have to do other types of manual labor, but at least they won't have to haul buckets of water. So they can stop complaining about that and start complaining about something completely different. But let's put our pumping station right here. You can see the power line connecting. And this actually took quite a bit of time to get done. You can see the supply lines as raw materials are carried back and forth. I'm checking on the batteries there. The batteries seem to be holding up a little better now. And now we have a pumping station. The pumping station is connected to the power grid, and it is close enough to the water tower so that they are connected. So happy, happy, joy, joy. Now let's move on to the next thing, which is an Aqua Farm. The weather can go into drought conditions, and that lake water can completely dry up. So you would not get any water, you would not get any fish. But if you have an Aqua Farm, then you will have a place to raise fish, whether there is water in the lake or not. So we could make fish sandwiches and fish tacos. Always a crowd pleaser. And I feel like in the post-apocalyptic times, we will need to produce crowd pleasers because humans love to complain. But there is our Aqua Farm, and now we can assign some settlers to be fishers in the Aqua Farm. And we need to connect it to the power grid though before we can do that. So there's another utility pole. Now we have a couple of fishers working in there, and now the Aqua Farm has power. Fish tacos for everybody around the campfire. In addition to supplying them with fish during a drought, you can also make efforts to have your settlers grow crops even when the weather is bad. Your cultivated fields can be messed up in various ways, so they want us to build a greenhouse. I have my usual indecision, and then decide to put it over here by the Aqua Farm. Looks like we're kind of grouping all of our environmentally conscious construction together. So that's good. The pollution over here should be nice, or the lack thereof. But it takes a little while to build the greenhouse, and in the meantime I went ahead and put up a few more wind turbines. Now we need to assign a couple of farmers, and we can choose a seed. We have beans and we have sugar beets. I don't know if there is a wrong answer there, but if there is a wrong answer, I have a 50-50 chance. And as we all know from my channel, that means I probably chose poorly. But never mind that, we are moving on to the next complaint, and they are wanting us to upgrade their dwellings. They want us to build 5 comfortable houses. And once again, I couldn't remember exactly what the houses look like. I could have upgraded these sturdy houses over here, and I probably should have, really. Logically I should have, but no, that's not what I did. I decided to build separate comfortable houses. So I had to look around and find a good place to put these things. And then after I placed the houses, it took so long to get them built that I got paranoid that I hadn't built enough of them. So I think I added a couple more. I'm not sure I needed to do this, but I added a couple more comfortable houses to the build queue. And either way, we ended up with 5 comfortable houses. So we have fulfilled that objective. Our settlers are pleased. That'll last probably about 30 seconds, and then they'll start complaining about something else. And now Arthur wants us to build a factory unit. So he's talking about how when your colony gets large enough, your production will be unable to keep up. But if you build a factory unit and you put it near certain buildings, then it will increase their production. It's kind of hard to see, but any relevant buildings within that circle will get a little gold outline around them. So we're going to put our factory unit right there, and then we will wait for it to be built. Takes quite a while. And there it is. So now we can assign a couple of people to be engineers, and it is already connected to the power grid. So that's good news. So tailors' shops and workshops will now have higher production. But that is officially the end of this tutorial. So we have raiders left, and then I don't know if anybody's interested, but there is also the main tutorial, which actually shows a few different things. Some stuff that was not shown in these individual tutorials. So I don't know if anybody's interested in seeing that. It would end up being a very long video or another bunch of short videos. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. But we do have raiders left to do, so that'll be exciting. We can look forward to that. But for now, as always, thanks very much for watching.